Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Manstracks. As always, I am your host. I almost said Pastor JJ, which is not how I go on this podcast.
I don't know, the kids have been calling you that lately. It's kind of weird.
Oh, that's very alarming. I am your host, JJ Manstrack, and I am joined today by...
As always, Sarah Manstrack.
Everybody's favorite host.
I don't know about that.
All right, so I have like zero banter. Oh, but I should pump up the GoFundMe because we are still out there. I'm actually really excited. So the last week's episode, it was super echoey. My microphone was echoey, but we had raised enough to buy one microphone, and I was like, all right, let's see if just buying one microphone might improve the quality. So I'm very excited to see how this turns out. I can't hear it right now because we don't have a playback machine because we haven't raised that money yet. However, we did set up a GoFundMe to raise up some small improvements for this podcast. When we started out, we just grabbed some like cheapo microphones and some free software, and that's how we threw this together. Mm-hmm. But we got a lot of support, and people said it was a ton of fun, and we have a lot of fun making it. So this year, 2023, we're trying to go bigger, go better, and just upgrade and improve. And so that's what we're up to. We have a couple of sponsors. We've already hit just under the 20% mark. So we got a long ways to go, but if you'd like to donate, there's going to be the GoFundMe link in the show notes. Please click that or check out the socials. I post it every couple of days, so that's out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I am ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's approach the news desk.
Yes. All right. Do you want me to go first today?
Of course.
Okay, all right.
This is our ritual. I always ask if I want to
I know, I do. Okay, so, oh shoot, I lost it. So, my first story today is... it's really cute. So, police agreed to a DNA test a cookie for evidence of Santa. So, a little girl in Rhode Island requested that the police department have the remains of a cookie and some carrots to test their DNA to see if Santa Claus actually bit into them.
That is so stinking cute.
So the Cumberland Police Department said it received a letter from a young investigator to have a partially eaten Oreo cookie and some baby carrot sticks tested to identify whether they were eaten indeed by Santa Claus on December 25. It's so cute. So they passed it to the Department of Health Forensic Sciences unit for analysis. I think that's so cute. The little girl's like, I really want you guys to see if this Oreo and was actually bitten by Santa Claus.
And like, I love the trust in the the detective units and all that kind of stuff. But then when she grows up a little bit, what is this little girl going to think of police force? Like,
she'd be like, they lied to me.
This is not just like mom and dad fooled me.
Yep.
This is like
collective.
The authorities in my world. They're just...
It's cute. It's a cutesy story. It kind of reminds me of the story that you shared a couple months ago where they wrote a permit for that one girl to own a unicorn.
Yes,
like, if she ever catches one, she can own one.
Her unicorn.
Yeah, like, same thing.
That's right on par.
Yeah, the police department's just playing along. But in the same vein, it's a little dishonest.
I mean, it's very cute, and that little girl, it's very cool that they're like going along with it. It's like, it's on par with like when a little kid hands you a fake telephone, like you answer that phone, right?
You better answer it.
And so that's a good thing, I think. And maybe it's just because like you and I, we've never really been a fan of the whole Santa thing, right? Like,
yeah, I'm not a fan of lying to my kid about whether or not Santa Claus is real.
And I feel like such a Scrooge about it because it's like it's never been a big deal. We're not like harsh about it, but it's just like, no, we just talk to our kids normal, We're just like, no, that's just a fun thing that some people do. We give gifts. Mom and dad give you the gifts because we love you, because God gave us a great gift at
and
Christmas.
we have to.
That's all we do.
Yeah, it's not like, I think sometimes too it becomes a little confusing, especially for kids who are religious, like convoluting, Santa Claus versus Jesus. It's like, well, Santa Claus is awesome because he brings us the gifts, and Jesus is there, but he's not really like. It's like let's make sure that we're clear
which one's the more
important.
And it's like, it's totally fine, but it's so I think it's a very cute thing for the police to like go along with it, but at the same time I've never been super invested in the whole
so I just thought it was kind of a funny little story because I thought cute. They're indulging her wishes.
So today both of my stories have to do with like linguistics and translation and stuff.
Okay.
And so this one's like right up your alley. It's funny as long as you don't take it too seriously.
Oh, okay.
FEMA offers help for Alaskan Natives but it had mistranslations and nonsense.
What?
So the federal emergency aid, right? So documents aimed at helping Alaskan Natives apply for aid following some typhoon damage last fall featured nonsensical phrases instead of useful instructions. It was like the government officials fed their thing into Google Translate, and it spat out nonsense for these poor people who were trying to apply for aid.
Oh, that's frustrating.
So like after tidal surges and high winds from the remnants of a rare typhoon caused extensive damage to the homes along Alaska's western coast in September, the U.S. government stepped in to help the residents, largely Alaskan Natives, repair property damage. Residents who opened the Federal Emergency Management Agency's paperwork expecting to find instructions on how to file for aid in languages like, and I don't know how to say this, Yupik? It's Y-U-P apostrophe-I-K. Yupik? Or Inupiaq. I-N-U-P-I-A-Q. Inupiaq.
Okay.
The Native American languages from the Alaskan Natives. But they were instead reading bizarre phrases. So one of the phrases says, "Tomorrow he will go hunting very early and will bring nothing." And then the translator randomly added the word Alaska in the middle of a sentence. "Your husband is a skinny polar bear," said another.
What? Oh my gosh. This would be incredibly frustrating.
Very, right? So it's one of those things where it's a little bit funny as long as you remember that this is government nonsense. Like, it would be offensive, I think, if it was an earnest effort.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yet another one was written in entirely Inuktitut, which is an indigenous language spoken in northern Canada, far away from Alaska. They got like the whole different region. They're like, nope, wrong translation.
Wow.
FEMA fired the California company that was hired to translate the documents once the errors became known. But the incident was an ugly reminder for Alaskan Natives of the suppression of their culture and the languages from decades past. Thankfully, FEMA immediately took responsibility for the translation errors and corrected them, and the agency is working to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Oh my God, that's just embarrassing.
Yeah,
Can you imagine being that company? You'll never be able to do translation work again. You're screwed.
Well, what were they doing?
Yeah, I'm confused.
Did you just feed it into the Google, like the AI chatbot?
You can't just translate a lot of things word for word. Like, oh boy.
No one was denied aid because of the errors, thankfully.
Good. At least they got the help they needed.
Yeah, people were really upset. Some of the people were rightly upset. There's like these government contracting translators have certainly taken advantage of the system. They've had a profound impact, in my opinion, on vulnerable communities. Oh, dude. So the lady who said that, she was called for congressional oversight. She was a spokesperson for the people. And her great-grandfather, and I don't know how to say his name is Roy, he actually invented the alphabet for their language.
Oh, wow.
More than half a century ago. So you got to imagine that they're like, no, I'm going to teach you guys how to write this down.
Let me show you how this goes.
Oh, my gosh. It was. So FEMA completely missed the mark with the translation.
Yeah, like a lot.
And, about 1,300 people had been approved for FEMA assistance after the remnants of the typhoon created havoc as it traveled about 1,000 miles north along the Bering Strait, potentially affecting 21,000 people.
Wow.
They've paid about $6.5 million to help people.
Wow.
I just thought that one translation was so funny. Your husband is a polar bear, skinny.
Okay.
There's just so. Anyways, there's some FEMA's having trouble with their translating services.
Wow. That's a big problem.
People
probably get that taken care of there. Wow. All right.
Wow.
So my second story today, I just love this. Wisconsin historic canal filled with butter after a dairy plant catches fire.
What? Wait. What's filled with butter?
A historic Wisconsin canal.
Like the river was full of butter?
So it says an historic Wisconsin canal was filled with butter Monday evening. This happened a couple weeks ago after a fire broke out at a historic dairy plant. So in Portage, Wisconsin, firefighters were called to Associated Milk Producers after 9 p.m. for a fire alarm. They attempted to gain access to the building, but the heavy smoke and primarily a butter runoff prevented them from entering the building. It says Fire Chief Troy Hasse told TV that firefighters were up to their knees in butter.
Wow. I'm having trouble fathoming that level, like that amount of butter.
When we first tried to go up the stairs to that part, it was collapsed, and this stuff, the butter, was running down like 3 inches thick on the steps. So our guys were up to their knees trying to go up the steps to get to the top, and they're trying to drag the hose, but it got full of butter, and they couldn't hang on to it anymore. I mean, it's awful story, but like, can you imagine like slip sliding around trying to carry your hose with butter? It's like a clown show.
Yeah, the fact that it's butter, that just makes the whole story
It
bizarre.
said the blaze had started in the room where butter was being stored, and as it heated, the butter began to melt and flow throughout the structure. They extinguished the fire before it could spread past the firewalls and throughout the building. And a hazmat team was called in to contain the runoff into the storm sewers and canal using a boom and other absorbents.
Oh, the butter was getting in the storm sewers.
Can you imagine what would happen when that like resolidifies?
That's what I was just thinking. like,
what a
It's
mess.
all well and good while it's liquid, but then when that hardens up, that's just
oh
like,
my gosh!
like
I just can't imagine trying to be like a firefighter going up some stairs and carry your hose, and you're like, oh, everything's caked in butter, like 3 inches of butter,
slippery, slimy.
Oh, can you imagine that? Oh, that sounds awful.
Up to their knees.
But yeah, that happened in Wisconsin back a couple weeks ago in January.
It is kind of the perfect story for Wisconsin, right? Like that fits.
Dairyland, yeah.
Yep. Oh,
man.
Gosh.
Just ridiculous.
That's amazing. All right, so Lake Superior State University, the Michigan College, releases an annual list of words that it says deserve to be banished from our vocabularies.
Okay.
Over misuse, overuse, or uselessness.
Okay.
Every year they receive thousands of nominations, and then their staff like gets together and they decide what words or phrases that we need to stop using.
I feel like I want to be part of this group.
Yes, I would have a lot of fun judging popular phrases. All right, so the top one is goat.
I hate that term.
I like it. I don't know why. Like,
I actually had to have someone explain it to me one time. It was a couple years ago. I didn't know what it meant. I was like, "What the heck? Why would it?"
Greatest of all time. See, for me, I learned it in reference to Tom Brady. Like, he's the greatest of all time quarterback. Like, he has broken. That term does not need to exist. Greatest.
Although, to be fair, you did think that the phrase, instead of the phrase "give up the ghost," you thought it was "give up the goat."
Yes,
so
I thought that made sense.
So you didn't. I didn't know what goat meant, but you didn't know that "give up the ghost" was a term.
Actually,
so
I still don't think "give up the ghost" makes any sense either. Right?
I've explained it to you so many times, but it's just...
Our nominators insisted and our arts and letters faculty judges concurred that to decree the banished words list of 2023 as the GOAT is tantamount to gaslighting. Does that make sense?
What?
The reason the university president, Rodney Hanley, said in a very serious statement announcing the new list, he's using all the words that they're banishing. Irregardless, moving forward, it is absolutely amazing inflection point of purposeless and ineptitude that overtakes many. Oh my gosh, I can't even read this sentence. Okay, let me start over. He said, so this phrase that I'm about to read includes every word and phrase they want to get rid of.
Deemed, yeah.
Our nominators insisted and our arts and letters faculty judges concurred that to decree the banished words list of 2023 as the GOAT is tantamount to gaslighting. Does that make sense? Irregardless, moving forward, it is what it is, and it is an absolutely amazing inflection point of purposeless and ineptitude that overtakes so many mouths and fingers, Hanley added.
My brain is swimming.
So the full list of university banished words for this year is: number 1, goat. They don't like that one. Number 2, inflection point. I don't really have an opinion about that one. I don't know what that is.
I've never heard that term before.
Number 3, quiet quitting. Have you heard of this?
I have heard of that. Was it you that was talking about this?
Yeah. There were a bunch of articles.
Yeah, I did hear about this.
It basically is just like where you stop doing something but you don't tell anybody about it. Yeah. Quiet quitting. Gaslighting. I thought this was interesting. It's because of overuse, misuse, and uselessness.
Yeah, I have heard people misuse the phrase.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think you understand what that is.
No, it's very, very commonly used, but I don't think people understand it. Moving forward. I thought that was interesting. I think probably overuse. I'm guessing so many people coming out of the pandemic that all these different companies, they're like, all right, moving forward, we're gonna rebuild.
Yeah, I could see that. It'll be
Number 7 does... Oh, no, sorry. Number 6, amazing. You can't just take amazing out of the vocabulary. Everybody uses
Okay, it's probably because people use... What are they called? Intensifiers like that way too much or incorrectly.
I'm definitely guilty of that.
Oh, you are. You
yeah.
And exclamation points. We should remove the exclamation point from your keyboard.
No, I need it. I need
you
to
just
be able
overuse
to exclaim. For me, it's the word incredible. I use the word incredible entirely too much.
Yes, you do.
Amazing. Number 7. Does that make sense?
You also overuse that phrase. Oh, does that make sense? Does that make sense? After a while, I'm like, do you think I'm dumb that I just don't understand?
No,
because you use the phrase, does that make sense enough?
It makes me feel like I don't know that I've explained it well.
Do you just want me to become a bobblehead?
Yes, I just want you to bobblehead at me.
Dwight bobblehead at you?
I thought, so number 8 is irregardless. I thought that wasn't a word. Didn't we decide that the word is regardless?
It is regardless. It's like when people say unthaw something.
What?
I have heard people use the phrase, well, unthaw it.
I have never heard that before. Unthaw?
And I'm like, no, you mean thaw or defrost.
Yeah, I've never heard of unthaw.
I've heard.
Unthaw, I would think you're putting it in the freezer.
Right? That is literally, it's like a double negative. No, I think irregardless, people just don't understand the English language. And it's like when people try to use the word supposedly. What the heck is that?
Supposedly.
It's supposedly.
Are you sure?
Or probably.
Supposedly.
Supposedly is not a word. But yeah, regardless, you're irresponsible for using that word.
Number 9, absolutely.
What's wrong with absolutely?
I don't know. They say it's too much. And number 10, it is what it is. Okay. I don't like the phrase, but I don't have a problem,
I don't have that much of a problem.
Out of over 1,500 nominations from people across the U.S. and as far afield as New Zealand and Namibia, judges declared that this year's top offender was GOAT, the acronym for greatest of all time. Nominators and faculty alike found the term objectionable, both because of its impossibility, how can anyone declare a single best of all time when another may come along in the future, and the liberal way the title is dispensed these days.
Oh,
I think that's totally valid.
over.
You can't actually be the GOAT.
It's like, oh, so and so is the GOAT. So and so is the GOAT. So and so is LeBron James is the GOAT. Simone Biles is the GOAT. Tom Brady is the GOAT. It's like, come on, can we stop, please?
So joining GOAT in banishment are the 9 other words and phrases that nominators and judges complained are used so often they have become disconnected from their literal meanings, like amazing, which nominators said no longer seems to mean awe-inspiring and dazzling. Not everything is amazing, and when you think about it, very little actually is.
Irregardless, I think this article is amazing. And
so the overuse of the term gaslight hurts the word's ability to describe a specific type of dangerous psychological manipulation. Look up for the word definition of gaslight increased 1,700% into 2022. Merriam-Webster announced that the word was the 2022 word of the year.
I could believe that.
And it was so popular that it people use it to describe everything, and so it's lost its actual meaning.
Yeah.
So you gotta stop saying it because it's a real thing. You can't
it's like the word trigger. It has become overused and incorrectly used, and it's lost its meaning anymore.
They've put over hundreds of words and phrases have been banished by Lake Superior State University since 1976 when they started doing this. Every year
because everyone knows how weighty the opinion and value of Lake Superior State. No offense, I love Michigan, and those Uper colleges are amazing, but
why are they the arbitrator of the entire
I don't think anybody's paying
language?
Attention to what a college in Sault Ste. Marie is saying about words.
Frequently targeted are the of-the-moment phrases, like in these uncertain times, banished in 2021 after so many COVID-related messages began with that phrase.
How do you feel about irrefutably, or how do you feel about irregardless? Banished. How do you feel about GOAT? Banished.
Information superhighway, banished in 1995.
Gaslighting, banished.
This is such a weird. Joining them are common linguistic bugaboos, which I love the word bugaboos. Frequently misused words like impact, and then redundancies like exact same. You could just say same. Completely empty. You could just say empty. And overly verbose phrases like at this point in time. you could just say now or today.
Okay, but that seems silly. Like, now you're getting a little petty.
Now we're getting a little petty.
I mean, it sometimes there is an appropriate way of using at this point in time.
I love that they put out this list and they said...
It seems like these people don't like literature.
I think that it's just a fun way to point out that linguistically we're kind of ridiculous in America. Like, in just the English language, we are so weird. And I like, because it seems to me they're not actually banishing.
No, I just think people don't know how to use these phrases correctly. Like, if you're a skilled and crafted writer and speaker, these words are not difficult. It's like they have no time for extra stuff or explanation. I don't know. I feel like it's just petty.
Absolutely. No, I think you're right. But I think that's part of the joke. Like, it's kind of like a satire, I think.
No, irregardless, I'm disregarding this list.
It hurts me every time you use that word.
I'm going to keep using
Let's quit this conversation. Please.
Well, at this point in time, I don't see that happening.
Well, it's disqualified this podcast as the goat.
You're gaslighting me.
Just All right, let's move to sponsors.
Okay,
we gotta get out of this. Are you ready for sponsors?
I am. I know exactly what's sponsoring my life this week. Actually, this week, I will say this. This is something that's sponsoring not just my life, but the life of my child, mostly because it's been really super handy. Our oldest lately has been just eating up books.
Deep diving into those
He has
books.
finally crossed over into the no longer... Like, he loves to read out loud still. He does like us to read aloud to him, but... He has finally crossed over into the reading independently by himself chapter books phase, and I am loving it. He read like 3 Boxcar Children in one day the other day, and I was like, oh, he is my child. I almost said he was my spirit animal, but he's just my own child. That's probably would end up on their list of misuse.
Your baby can't
I just put that on the banned words list. My child is my blood. He is. He truly has been eating these books up. So the Boxcar Children just sponsoring my life this week, because I mean, I brought out my stack. I only have like maybe 15 of them of the series.
Like 70 of them. I mean, there's so
but
many.
I mean, from my childhood, I have like, they're not even in order, and he hasn't even been reading them in order. And honestly, it doesn't really matter that much. But he has read every single one of them off my shelf. He is literally down to his last one, and he went to bed tonight and said, well, this is my last one, Mom, so I don't really know what I'm going to read after this one's done. And I went, oh my gosh, we finished all these books in a week. Like,
it is impressive.
It's sponsoring my life. He's doing great.
Amazing.
But it's been real fun to see him do that, because honestly, that was me when I was his age. So.
Oh, totally, me too.
First grade, I was eating up those books.
Just, as soon as you learn to read, you just disappear into those 100%. Books. Yeah, I love it. I just think it's so fun.
It's cool. But that's sponsoring my life this week. So, how about you?
We mentioned that we were house hunting. That was a big thing for our episode last week. And so we were doing the house hunting thing, and we've moved on to the next phase, which is the inspection phase. And honestly, I gotta say, the sponsor of my life this week is how convenient and easy it has become. Like, just online banking and moving money around in a secure way. So I'm gonna say Venmo. Venmo has been sponsoring my life lately. Not literally. Nobody is sending me...
Great,
that's our third host in the corner there. Just
there's our third kid, and I was like, no, we have 4.
That's our 4th kid making all the noise in the corner. Our 3rd host back there. No, so Venmo's been sponsoring my life. Not literally, they're not sending me any money, but it's
you sure could.
It's handy to be able to pay for things, and so we pay for the inspection. Really nice guy, and that worked out really well. But then I got to Venmo him the money needed, and I haven't used it in a long time. It was the first time opening that app in a while, but it is such a convenient. It's just super handy. So Venmo is sponsoring my life today.
That's cool. Yeah, I would.
All right, are you ready for our game?
I am.
All right, now it is time for a brand new game. It's not actually a new game. This game has been around forever. We've just never played it on this podcast before. This game is called Ruin with One Letter. And the idea is that you take, just anything, really. You could take a hymn or a contemporary Christian song or a Bible verse or anything, and you ruin it by adding one letter to it. And so what we're going to do is first I want to go through. So I posted it up on, Twitter and Facebook as I do. And people came up with some hilarious responses. And then you and I, what we're going to do is ruin the best movies of the last 10 years with one letter.
Okay.
We're just going to read through the list and make up ways to ruin it.
Sounds good.
In the moment.
Okay.
So, ruin with one letter. This is what Twitter has been posting. So the first example was, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Ron. They replaced the S with an R, and
Thankful.
you get Amazing Grape.
Oh.
Classic, right?
It's my favorite juice brand next to Welch's.
Yep, there you go. Go and sin no mare.
Those horses, man. Really
It's just a gif of a horse.
I like that.
The Passion of the Chris.
Chris Pratt?
The 14th disciple, For you bless the righteous, O Lord. You cover them with flavor as a shield.
And then he's going to eat you.
It's a butter river.
It's a butter river.
Jesus died my soul to shave.
Oh, I like that one. That's good.
This is from my friend Andy, who lives in Australia. She said, we had youth group merch that the printing company messed up. It said Ron sharpens iron. It's supposed to say iron sharpens iron. Ron sharpens iron. Oh, this one's kind of clever and terrifying. It is hell with my soul. Yes.
That's sobering.
This is my favorite one that I have seen so far. In the beginning, God cremated the heavens and the earth.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen to you. Have you read the book of Revelation?
If you put the M in, so clever. Jesus swept.
Yeah, that's right, he did. He was about equal gender roles.
Oh, Ford, you're beautiful.
Oh, yes.
That's a country music song, talking about their
my
truck.
truck.
You shall now murder.
It's like The Purge or something.
You shall now murder. Go. I love this one. It's the classic line, love your enemies. It's lose your enemies.
Just lose them. Just get rid of them.
Jesus leapt.
Yes, he did.
I have not learned to be content in any situation.
I feel like this is me.
There's a lot of fodder for taking now and turning it into not.
Not. Yeah, that's good.
Pray without creasing.
Don't get your shirt mingled.
All right, so I had one person who went outside the Bible and went into like movies, and this is a good segue. He gave us 3 of them. So ruin with one letter, Jurassic Pork.
Oh.
Lion Kong.
I want to see that movie.
And Irony Man.
Ooh, I like that. He would join those professors at Lake Superior State College and decide what was linguistically unnecessary in our vocabulary of the country.
All right, ruin with one letter. Let's go down the big list, and I will tell you the name of the movie, and you'll.
There's a lot of pressure. I'm not very good at this kind of stuff.
How about I'll tell the name of the movie, and one of us comes up with either one of us can do it. Okay. First is The Revenant.
Is it The Reverend? Could you do that?
The Reverend. Yeah.
The Reverend.
The Reverend.
Yeah.
Now it's a song.
Now it's a holy movie.
I feel like that one was tricky anyways, because Revenant, to know that it was a guy seeking revenge, like that's what that word means. True. Nobody knows that.
Nah, nobody does.
12 Years a Slave. This is hard to do on the fly, like in the moment.
It is surprisingly hard.
I have one for the next one, but I have nothing for this. 12 Years a Slave. 12.
It's 12 years a shave.
Well, I like that. Actually.
I don't want to discredit the like.
It's true.
That movie is like, I don't want to be irreverent. That's like not, but like 12 years a
12
shave.
Years a shave, and it's about like the guys from Duck Dynasty with their beards.
No shade on that movie though. Like right. I don't want to be disrespectful.
This one is Fences. If you take the N out, it says feces.
You would choose that.
Come on, that's funny. This one's Captain Fantastic.
Captive Fantastic. Nah, that's not right. That's
Captive.
2 letters.
Yeah. Captain Fantastic. Lightyear. Or Strange World. Lightyear could be funny. You put a B in front of it. Blightyear. It's about a famine.
It's good when you explain the backstory. That's a fun part of it.
Yeah. Or Light Yearn. Put it
Light
in
Yearn.
Light Yearn. The search for Woody. He needs a best friend. He's missing his buddy.
You got a friend of me. You said Strange World. Strangle World.
Yes, I was trying to come up with that. I like that. Strangle World.
Not the movie you want to take your kids to.
Strangle World. Ice Age. Nice Age. Just put an N in front of it. Nice
I
Age.
like that. Nice
Nice
age.
Age.
That's cute. That's good.
Home Alone.
Come Alone.
Come Alone. Oh, that sounds creepy.
Sounds like a horror movie. I think adding letters is funnier than changing letters.
Switching a letter, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's
Lady
called
and the Tramp.
Haunted Mansion.
Lady and the Champ.
Lady and the Trump.
Oh
It's
no,
a
that changes
documentary.
it a lot. Lady and the Tramp, Lady and the Trump. I like that. Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Best.
Beauty and the Best. I like that. All right. Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in to this fun, goofy little podcast. If you appreciate what we do, I do not understand why, but
Neither do
I am thankful for you. And so tune in, on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Just give us a review, rate us, like us, follow us, all that good stuff. Helps other people find this fun, goofy Christian content.
Podcast? It's out. It's getting cut from the vocabulary. Like Superior State University will be contacting you shortly with your
Cut it. Quit it. I'm quitting it.
Irregardless, you're terrible at hosting podcasts.
The pain, it just hurts me.
It should.
Thanks so much to Music Town for the use of our theme song, and
Absolutely.
I think that's it,
I
right?
think so.
You ready to send us out with the mom joke?
But you're gonna have to let me know if you've used this one before. So,
okay.
Yeah, okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, if I know the answer, then we'll have used it before.
Why do cows wear bells?
I don't know.
Because their horns don't work.
Nope, I've never heard that. That was an all fresh groan.
Yay! Okay.
All right, everybody, you guys have a great week.
Take care.